Many congratulations to the top three qualifiers for the 2021 FIA Formula One Austrian Grand Prix. In third place, Sergio Pérez. In second place, Lando Norris. And taking the 15th pole position of his career and his fourth of the 2021 campaign, our pole sitter, Max Verstappen. Well done, Max. Your third consecutive pole position of the season. A 1-3 for Red Bull as well. Can you just tell us about the session and maybe elaborate on why you said earlier that Q3 didn't go quite as well as you'd hoped?
Yeah, I didn't use those words. Now, Q1 and Q2 were very good. I think it was all going really smooth and the laps were good enough and nice. Just Q3, the first lap, locked up in turn 3, so that wasn't amazing. And the second run I was the first car out, so I just lost time on the straights. So couldn't improve my lap time even with a more normal turn 3. So it's still good enough for first, but I would have liked to just have a better Q3. If
Q3 had gone better for you, how much more time was there in the car, do you think?
A bit. I mean, I can see already what's going on my dash, of course. A bit like the Q1 and Q2 margins, I think.
Okay. And Pirelli have brought their softest compound here this week. How different did that make Q3?
I think they were just a tiny bit faster than the previous softest set. 2/10. Driving-wise, it doesn't really make a lot of difference.
And Max, looking ahead to the race tomorrow, how useful is it for you to have your teammates starting in third place?
That's of course what we like, to have both cars in the front. We look forward now to just try to have a good race and score a lot of points for the team, and hopefully it works out well. We have softer compounds, of course, than last weekend, so it will be a bit more difficult to manage those. But it's for everyone, so just looking forward to tomorrow now.
In front of a full house as well. Can you just give us a word on what it was like to perform?
I mean, of course, personally, I wasn't very happy after Q3, but in general, during the whole day, it was really enjoyable to see all the fans. And I think even before Q1 started, they were just jumping and bouncing around, and they were having a good time. And especially, of course, already with the last 1.5 years where everyone has gone through. And then, to open it all up again and everything seems a bit more normal, to see all the fans cheering. It's an amazing sight. And of course, it doesn't matter if they're orange or not. Just in general, to see the fans there is amazing. So hopefully we can give them a good race tomorrow.
Well said and well done, Max. Lando, coming to you, huge congratulations. Your first front row start in Formula One. Just describe how this feels.
It feels really good, to be here with Max and Sergio, just to feel like we made a good step forward from last weekend with a couple of things, and I was kind of not frustrated, but I thought there was a little bit more in it last weekend, especially to be ahead of both the Mercedes cars, and that's what we did this weekend today. And the whole of quali was pretty good, pretty straightforward, and good laps and so on. And then definitely saved the best till last, and did my best lap in Q3 run too. So I'm obviously very happy. I have a great position for tomorrow, and I think we maximized everything we could today. But also only 400s away from P1, so it would have been nice again to do that a little bit more. But I'm very happy with where I am.
Would you say that final lap in Q3 was one of your best ever qualifying laps?
Quite possibly. I think most corners I definitely did my best laps on, and I was actually just behind Max, or I was P2 on track, so I was a bit nervous. I was going to start losing a lot in the straights, which I did, but I made up for it in the corners, and especially the high speed, I took quite a few more risks, and that's where I found a lot of my lap time, and it paid off in the end. So it's a cool feeling, especially around here. It's a pretty awesome track to really push it on, and to try and find those last couple hundreds, especially taking the risks and not taking risks and so on. So it's a good feeling, and it definitely rewarded myself nicely.
So what are the goals for tomorrow? Can you carry this form into the race? Not another P5, surely.
why not? Probably another P5. We'll do our best to try and take a step forward and go in the right direction. But yeah, it wasn't like we were exactly close last weekend, and now we have that little bit more of a step. I don't want to be too negative, and I want to be optimistic, as I should be. But I'm also realistic and know that it's going to be a very tough race. We're in the best position possible to maximize everything, but if I have a chance to go for P1, a chance to race max and go for it, then I will. I'm still doing that. I'm still racing. I still want to do the best I can. But I think I also know what's best for us, what's best for myself and the team, and who we're sadly really racing against in the race tomorrow.
Okay, well, best of luck with that, and well done today. Thank you, Lando. Sergio, coming to you. This is your best start at the Red Bull Ring. Well done. How pleased are you with this performance?
Well, I think it's been a very difficult weekend. Only right until the end, we've been chasing a lot of the balance all the weekend through. A lot of compromises, a lot of changes, exploring quite a bit the car in this second weekend to try to learn more about the car. And then at the end, we got a reasonable lap, which, I think the most important is that we have a good starting position for tomorrow, because I think definitely in the race we are stronger than in qualifying. So looking forward for tomorrow. I think there is so much to play for still, with the softer compounds. It's not going to be as straightforward race as it was probably last weekend.
And what are your goals for tomorrow, Sergio?
To score as many points as possible for the team, to have a good start and manage my race and try to maximize everything we got. I think definitely there is good potential for tomorrow, so let's just make the best out of it.
Okay, good luck with that. Thank you, Checo. Let's open this to the floor, and we'll kick things off with Christian Nimmervold, please, motorsport.com.
Thank you, Tom. Question is to Lando. Lando, are you aware, or were you aware that after 18 of the 20 mini sectors, you were still going for pole with pink times? And if you were aware, do you think there was any chance in that last two corners you could have managed to go for pole? Anything you could have improved?
Of course, there's always that little bit, but I'm sure Max will still say the same thing. It's tough because it's so easy to just run that little bit wide and get your lap deleted and so on. And I think I improved already quite a bit in those last two corners comparing to the rest of my laps. So it's like risk versus reward, and how much do you really risk? And I think I took the risk and I ended up where I did. But if I had loads more opportunities, or if you give me another opportunity, I don't necessarily think I would improve that much more. So we are where we are. I think throughout this year we know we don't have a good enough car comparing to Red Bull or Mercedes in general, and maybe today we do, but considering how much quicker they were last weekend, I think it's obvious we struggle in a lot of areas. The car's not as quick as them, and a lot of things are not possible comparing to them. So I think I maximized our result, and that's all I could do.
Thank you, Lando. Let's go to Scott Mitchell next, please, at the race.
Thank you, Tom. Yes, question to Max, please. Just on the strategy for that final run in Q3, were you surprised to find yourself at the head of the queue on track, or was it sort of pre-planned and then just didn't work as well as you expected it to?
I went out and I realized that I was the first, so then you just get on with it. But I didn't expect to lose so much time on the straights. So that's what we'll know for next time. So better to stay in the box than do that.
Thank you, Max. Let's go to Alex Kalinauckas, please, Autosport.
Thanks, Tom. It's a question to Lando, please. Lando, we saw you going off on a couple of occasions in FP3, but everything looked really in control, obviously in qualifying very fast as well. So what was the difference, and also what was the reason for those what appeared to be little struggles earlier on today? Thank you.
Just trying things, pushing. I think I'm sure everyone makes little mistakes here and there. But we also know the car comes alive a bit more when you take the fuel out and when you turn the engine up. And I think the main reason for my mistake in P3 was I was just suddenly a lot closer to the car ahead in the final corner, and I had less grip, less rear into the corner. I made a mistake because of that. So when I wasn't that close, everything was fine. So that caught me out a little bit. But no, the car's been, it was good last weekend in quali, and we knew what worked well and what doesn't, or what didn't. And yeah, I think you're just always trying to find the limits, and you're pushing, and it's not easy to always maximize the braking, because it's so easy to have a little lock up or run wide and things like that. So you make those mistakes in practice, but I did make them in qualifying, and that's just a way of learning.
Thank you, Lando. Ed Straw next, please, the race.
Yeah, question for Lando. You said that the team's made a step last week to this. Can you break that down a little bit, exactly where? How much of it is down to execution and what you're doing? How much down to setup? And is some of it down to the car spec improvements in terms of that performance gain?
Well, I mean, there's not too much difference with the actual car itself in terms of specs or anything. It's pretty much the same. I would say in terms of the lap I did was probably a bit better, taking the risks a little bit more, and just doing a better lap and putting it all together that touch more. But I don't know, nothing obvious. I think we maximized the car last weekend. I mean, we just made some very small tweaks for this weekend, so it's not like we turned the car upside down and found anything new or something that suddenly works that didn't. It's just looking into more data, ironing out the little bits of inconsistencies and little things you struggle with, and then more just down to me delivering the lap when I have to. So yeah, nothing that's surprising or nothing obvious, but also feeling like I did a good lap myself, and a lot of it came from that.
Thanks, Lando. Any more questions from the floor? No more questions, in which case we'll leave it there. Well done, guys, and good luck in the race tomorrow.